He was a hugely dramatic personality. I think it would be fair to say, stormy, kind of melancholy, very much at times the life and soul, but at other times sort of, when he was writing, very much a sense of, the study door was closed and the children were under strict instructions from their mother never to disturb him, and this sort of, my grandmother still remembered the explosions of temper, when they would disturb him in the middle of writing at his writing desk. Stories of what an appallingly bad driver he was. I think he probably owned a car for the first time when he was in America in the 1940s. No, possibly in France in the 30s as well. But he was, by all accounts, somebody who would never concentrate on the road and always had his head full of other thoughts, and stories about how he would pick Chagall up at one time in the 1940s. I think when Chagall had come over to America from Europe, and Asch was a terrible driver, and Chagall, they would sort of joke about whose life was more precious. Chagall would say, "Steady on, slow down," and Asch would, "What, you don't think I'm worried for my life too?" And stories like that. There are all sorts of just stray anecdotes. There was a piece I came across written by a guy who had been a bank clerk in a Warsaw bank when Asch had come in to cash a check or withdraw some money or something. And he remembered and wrote this piece 40 years later about how Asch was pacing up and down, and the manager was busy, so he couldn't see him, so there was more time to wait. So he stripped off, took his jacket off, and started doing press-ups on the floor, because at a certain time he was very into the idea of physical culture and doing his exercises. And then someone else came in and he started arm wrestling with him. It wasn't enough for him to do his press-ups. He wanted to show how strong he was, and he challenged some random stranger to an arm wrestling match. And this guy was observing this and wrote a very funny piece about it many, many years later. And there are a lot of stories like that are just sort of gems in their way, just hidden in the newspapers that are turning brittle and turning to dust in the archives. But that was one I did enjoy.